What is up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is going to be a new album review for another 2020 album. The last time that I've reviewed a new album was not too long ago, just a couple of days of reviewing Bob Dylan's latest album, Rough and Rowdy Ways. So I am here once again to review a new album from this year, and as you can see I'm going to be reviewing the new Alestorm album entitled Curse of the Crystal Coconut. Curse of the Crystal Coconut is the band's sixth studio album, follow-up to 2017's album No Grave But the Sea. Now, you know me so well if you are very familiar with what I love, because Alestorm are one of those bands that I had admired for a lot of reasons, and they can be described for many people as just one of the catchiest and energetic, for the fun of it style metal bands, and that is personally one of the things that I love about them. They always bring in a lot of confidence, a lot of joy for the listener, and to just connect with whatever Alestorm can put out on each album. I really am quite pleased that they can still pull things off on just their signature sound that they've done previously. What really is fascinating to me about Alestorm is that they are still so consistent about their interest in the pirate lyrical content, being a folk metal band with pirate themes that's kept sprinkled all over on these pieces of music. You know, they are a band that I have loved for a long time. My personal favourite Alestorm album being Back Through Time from 2011, as I would still regard it as one of the best albums of the decade. So Curse of the Crystal Coconut is, for me, something very changeable on some places to this album. I really enjoyed a lot of the songwriting here. There is a great selection of guitar riffs that can be menacing, they can be very intriguing to the sound of the rest of the band. They have their own flavour and chemistry, and the musicianship onto a lot of the songs to this album is simply one of the best things. It presents Alestorm as a tighter way of playing to some of the songwriting that can be changeable into something different. And speaking of the word different, there are tracks to this album that isn't very alike to what they still love to do, but can pull things off and get away with whatever they want to do. A lot of the lyrics to this album are just basically Alestorm's most basic and simple lyrics, and Chris, the band's frontman and keyboard player, did say that they just decided to make these kinds of lyrics, and if people don't like it, we don't care. They are just a band that can still show a lot of passion, and it just connects their hearts so massively into portraying these kinds of lyrical themes into whatever they want to make. This album is definitely a really good one. Great tracks like Treasure Chest Party Quest. I really like the non-stop energy to it, especially with the chorus. It is a very good opening song to begin the album with a bang. The later two tracks that I loved are Fanny Balls and Chomp Chomp. Fanny Balls being one of my new top favourite later era tracks from the band. I love the very catchy, upbeat, tight hook. The delivery was perfect, and the sound to the song is absolutely excellent. Chomp Chomp is another one of my favourites, with some blazing keyboard playing. What is a plus for me, as it features the brief contribution of Fintroll's vocalist doing his own part, and Fintroll being another one of my favourite bands that I love. Chomp Chomp is an excellent number. Now here's a track called Tortuga, which is very different. Something like a rap metal kind of style onto the way the verses go, and some more of a commercial-ish tone than what Alestorm had done for a lot of times, but I quite dug this song for what it was. The 1 minute track called Shitboat No Fans, with just the most repetitive usages of a lot of the swearing, but it's full of humour and Alestorm's humour is still there. Shitboat is just basically like a fuck you in a very comedic way. But what stands out in terms of the musicianship is on the second to last track on this album called Wooden Leg Part 2, in brackets, The Woodening. I really like the introduction. It became symphonic for a brief amount of seconds with some blast beats on the drums, but then the structure keeps changing in various ways, and it takes me back to a number like Death Throes on the Terror Squid from Back Through Time. That's another song that I love from the band, but this one in particular is one of the highlights to the album. I really like the powerful delivery and the fantastic performances from the rest of the band. The album finishes with a traditional song called Henry Martin, which is to me a very, very fitting closer after the very dramatic presentation of Wooden Leg. Some of the weaknesses I have with the album: I do enjoy tracks like Zombies Ate My Pirate Ship, Pirate Metal Drinking Crew. Like I said, they are tracks that I enjoyed, but they don't connect with me enough, as well as the other songs that I've really liked a lot onto this album. But if I have to pick my main least favourite, it would maybe be Zombies Ate My Pirate Ship. But don't get me wrong, it is still a good track, but the other songs that I've liked are more of the favourites. The production is excellent. I think the guitar tone was stunning, the drums sound fantastic, and same goes with the keyboards that have its own bright, warm sound. The vocals from Chris, still as great as ever, really good raspy tone, energetic, with the chanting choruses on a lot of the songs here. Curse of the Crystal Coconut is once again a very, very good album, but I prefer the earlier era of their discography, from mainly Captain Morgan's Revenge, Black Sails at Midnight, and Back Through Time. But for me, Alestorm have not made a bad album, so I am really pleased that they are still at it, going strong to make another very, very good album, without a doubt. The musicianship is very, very good. Very pleased with the sound of the band here. I am curious to see what you think of this album in the comments below. I'm going to give Curse of the Crystal Coconut by Alestorm a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.